time to drop.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hennisphere. Very exciting day today. I am in Branson, Missouri at Silver Dollar City for the first time. Dreamed about coming to this park for a while now. It does not have the largest coaster collection, but all of them are super high quality. I just got to the park. I parked in the free parking lot, so then I had to take a little tram to the entrance. So I parked in a free parking lot, but it's so far away that everyone takes a tram to get to the front gate. But I can tell you, this park is absolutely beautiful. First impressions, the smell of cinnamon bread is strong at the entrance. There's a little bakery. I'm loving it already. First up, I think I'm gonna do the mine train, and then after that, probably time traveling. Here's a look at one of the blacksmith areas where they do some demonstrations and can make you some signs. I think most of these you can buy, have one custom made, but they just look like such high quality. I might want one of these one day, and these are just everywhere. All the little craftsman places are set up. I've never seen anything like this at a theme park before. I know I've been to Knott's Berry Farm, but I don't remember it very well. So this place is so strange, and something else I noticed is it's so quiet here, so I don't want to talk too loud. It's just quaint, and the music is loud in some areas, but then quiet in others. And there's also so many bakeries, like here, Taffy Kisses, candy, and all of the landscaping here. It's natural. It's been here for a while. You can tell that they just worked in the pathways any way they could. So far, I'm just impressed with the beauty of this place. I haven't even rode anything yet. First coaster of the day is going to be Thunderation, as we get a good look at Time Traveler. Cannot wait to ride that one. I think I'm gonna eat first before I go on it though. I just got off of Thunderation, the mine train here. That might be my favorite mine train I've ever been on. It's up there with Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Disneyland and Disney World. This one is much shorter, but it has better drops, intense helixes. There's only one rough spot. It's up there. It's better than the mine train at Six Flags over Texas. It's better than the mine train at Fiesta, Texas. And I'm quickly falling in love with this park. I've heard that they spare no expense when it comes to the details, and I'm seeing it. I have nothing bad to say about this park so far. I also just picked up my first meal of the day, sausage sandwich, and they have honey mustard dressing, my favorite. You don't see that at every theme park. And French fries and bottled water. And I love their food presentation here with all of the little restaurants. To get in line, it's marked very clearly. They have a little menu outside, so you don't have to actually walk up to the window to see what they have. They have a menu right there before you get in line, and then you can actually see the food already prepared, just waiting in the window. So you know it's fresh, and you also see that it's already pre-made. You're not gonna have to wait 20 minutes like at a place such as Cedar Point. Like I said, I'm quickly falling in love with this park. It's awesome. I'm gonna eat and then get in line for Time Traveler.
Just a few more adjustments to make. Isn't it thrilling, Papa?
During your adventure, please keep your head back and hold on to your swing handles. Now, prepare for the journey of a lifetime.
Just got off a Time Traveler, and it is easily the best spinning coaster in the world. It has to be. I mean, I've only ever been on Pandemonium clones at Six Flags, and then the one at Waldemere, Steel Dragon. I mean, those are like kiddie coasters compared to this. That one is so extreme. That first drop really gets you. I was lucky enough to be sitting in row 7, which is almost the last row, the last car, and it was just start to finish intense. I know most people are like, oh, it's so smooth. Like, no, if you don't really know what's coming and you're facing the wrong way, like it can kind of rattle you a little bit. Going into that last launch, there's a little hump I was not expecting it, so it hurt a little bit, but that's just because I wasn't expecting it. I mean, the restraints, I like the restraints a lot. Some people may say they press too hard against you. No complaints from me. That ride was just extreme for a spinning coaster. Loved it. I loved the queue line. Theming was like almost 10 out of 10 on that. And I love the way they do their operations. Again, like their food operations, I said, were awesome. Their theming is awesome, but their ride operations are top notch, where they kind of stage you at the beginning on the second floor, so you know where you're going to sit beforehand, and then they get a radio call from someone on the third floor to send people up, and that's a very efficient process because they were only running one train, and it was still about a 25-minute wait, but the line was moving a little bit every single minute. This park is amazing so far. The sun's starting to come out, so it's gonna get up to 90 degrees again. I've been tweeting at Silver Dollar City Attractions on Twitter a lot today, and they've been responding to me, which is pretty cool. I've got to get some of that cinnamon bread soon. I mean, I smelled the bakery right when I walked into the park, and that was amazing, that smell of cinnamon bread, cinnamon rolls. But we're gonna go do that. We're gonna go ride Wildfire and then Powder Keg, and probably the last one I'll ride will be Outlaw Run. Off to an awesome start. I'm here all day. Thank goodness I'm spending all day here because I really don't want to leave. Now it's time to ride the Grand Exposition coaster because I just want the credit. Just did the Grand Exposition coaster over where a lot of the kiddie rides are, just for the credit, you know. So now I'm up to 114. Now it's time to go do some thrill rides. Going to Fireman's Landing. Wasn't the easiest to find. I had to look at a park map again just to see where it was, but we'll get there. Made it to Fireman's Landing. Made a wrong turn where the kiddie rides area is. Had to look at a park map again, but now I'm in the right spot. So blown away by how many food options they have here and how many little kiosks there are to buy stuff. They even had a large toy shop. And across from that, I saw custom baseball bats. Really awesome. We're gonna have to do this drop tower. So I did Firefall just now, which was the shortest large-scale drop tower I've ever done. I was just on the other side of this construction area over there. There's something big coming for 2020. Pardon our dust, big adventures are worth the wait. You're the first to know, silverdollarcity.com/20news. And if I raise up, it's still really hard to see what all this is, but there is some track, it looks like, right there. There's a curved area. So I don't know what this is going to be, but it looks like it's going to be big. It's going to fill a really nice space. That S&S Scream and Swing is what I'm going on next. It's right there, can't really see it, but that will have an amazing view of this construction site if I'm facing the right way. Just got off of Outlaw Run, and this ride is everything that people were saying about it, because I've heard some people say it's rough, and it is rougher than the other iBox track RMCs, but other people say it's one of the best, and you know what? It is one of the best, and you will see this in my rankings, I promise you. Is it better than Iron Rattler? I'm not willing to tell you yet. Phenomenal ride. Start to finish, I mean, the pacing on this ride is amazing. I'm gonna have to marathon it. I mean, I have to, it's that good. So, Outlaw Run, one of the best coasters I've ever been on. Although it's really short, just like Iron Rattler, it packs a punch. I love all the turns. I love all the inversions. Yes, it can kind of whip you around laterally, but not as bad as most other coasters. This one flows pretty well. In terms of roughness, it's not extremely rough. Like, yes, it has that kind of rickety feeling of a wooden coaster, but I wouldn't classify it as rough. Outlaw Run, super decent.
Yeah.
did Fire in the Hole, and man, this park just doesn't end. Everything I do here, I love. That ride was phenomenal. Part dark ride, part water ride, part roller coaster. And I've known about it forever because of RCDB, just for the fact that it's a roller coaster, but it's kind of a dark ride first before a roller coaster. And it was phenomenal. I mean, we don't have anything like that in Texas. We don't have a dark ride like that anywhere. That ride gets pretty high marks from me because a dark ride is such a nice change of pace from a roller coaster or a thrilling flat ride, especially when it's something like this where it's indoor, you have air conditioning, you even have some water. I loved it. I didn't think I was gonna love it that much, but I did. And now I have 2 coasters left here. I am right next to Powder Keg right now, and it is down. I do not know if it's going to reopen. It might have just gone down a couple of minutes ago. I'm not sure. I see people in the station. So hopefully Powder Keg gets up and running soon. But in the meantime, it's time for Wildfire.
Calling it, would you try it once?
Just did Wildfire for the first time, and that was a pretty smooth B&M. I didn't bang my head around on the restraints. Was able to put just one arm up since I was on the end, on the right side, front row too. I don't know if it's better than Hulk. I think I like Hulk a little more than that, but it was smooth. It had some cool elements, and it's one of the most picturesque coasters I've ever been on. And that viewing deck up top was amazing. And looks like Powder Keg is still closed, so I'm gonna have to come back a little later. Wildfire was great. I think that's going to be the only ride I get on it today because I want a marathon outlaw run. It looks like there's some activity in Powder Keg. They may have been testing it. It looks like people are getting off. Maybe it closed again. I'm not sure. But just another ride, Wildfire, another ride that's just excellent in this park.
Look what opened. Time for Powder Keg. Oh, you won't be able to go look for him until tomorrow morning after your list. Welcome back, riders. How was your ride?
Hold on to the lap bar with your hands, arms, and feet inside the frame at all times.
I was able to get on Powder Keg just now, and man, that one kicks butt. That launch was a little more forceful than I thought. That transfer track is so unique. Never seen that before on a ride. And the coaster, will have to say that that one was smoother than I expected. It's just so hard to pick between Wildfire and that one. And you can even throw in Fire in the Hole. Like, I enjoy that one so much because it's so different, and not every theme park has a dark ride like that. This park, you've got 4 coasters that are just almost top tier, I mean, you could spend all day here just marathoning those 4. Powder Keg gets high remarks for me, although it's very short after that lift hill. That's the only thing, but it only has like a 10-minute wait, just like everything else in the park really, except Time Traveler. That'll be closer to 30 minutes. Just a little surprised at how empty this place is and Worlds of Fun on July 4th weekend. I was at Worlds of Fun yesterday, and then today, like this park closes at 7 today, but they're doing 1 train ops on pretty much everything. Even Time Traveler's 1 train ops. And the park just feels only like lukewarm right now, half empty. It's an awesome time to be here. Those are all of the coaster credits in the park. I got them all until maybe 2020. Alright, it's time for that world famous cinnamon bread. I know it's in here. I can smell it. Well guys, we found it. We acquired the OG cinnamon bread, the original, as it's called on the menu. And it's pretty big. This is $6.99. You can see how big it is. So I get this all to myself. I'm gonna try to finish the whole thing by myself. I'm pretty hungry. All I need is some water. No fork, just my hands. I'll let you know how it is. And just like that, 10 minutes later, cinnamon bread is all gone. I didn't even touch my water. I ate it all by myself. Not gonna lie, I probably licked my fingers for at least 60 seconds. So good. I was able to get 2 more rides in on Outlaw Run, and upon further review, that thing is really rough. First time I rode it was in the front. I really enjoyed it. Second time just now, very back row. It was a walk-on. There's no wait for it, and it beat the crap out of my legs. That was painful. So then I rode it a 3rd time. This time I really tried to kind of move the things around in my pockets so that the harness wasn't stapling me in. It was still pretty rough. Like that first drop, you get to the bottom, there's a pretty big bump. It's really stressful on my legs. And I don't like the restraints that have the little shin guards. Safe to say, I prefer Iron Rattler overall. But now it's time to get a back row ride on Powder Keg. Since the first time I was on it, it was a front row ride. See how this one is in the back. And also, just like at Worlds of Fun, bathrooms here have air conditioning. That gets high remarks from me. Six Flags, take note. Fortunately, Powder Keg is down because of the lightning that was reported in the area. You can see it's very cloudy. Still, sun is out, but I went ahead and got on Fire in the Hole, and now the line has ballooned to all the way out to the entrance where you get in line. I just walked right into the building, got my 2nd ride on it. Such an underrated ride. Like I said, the theming here is on point. Yesterday, if you'll remember, I met some pretty cool people at Six Flags St. Louis. Their names were Mason, Chance, and Gavin. And I told them that I was a vlogger on YouTube for theme parks, and Mason really wanted to be in my vlog. And I'm really happy that I got to do that for him. And I let them know that I was going to Silver Dollar City today. And the only advice they gave me was I had to try a turkey leg because they're just that good. So I got a turkey leg. Not to dive into this. All rides are closed right now, and I don't know if they'll reopen. It's getting close to 6 o'clock, 1 hour till close. If the lightning, I don't know what their policy is for weather in the area, but it sounds like they have a pretty large radius of lightning that makes all rides shut down, except for indoor rides. But I have time to kill, so let's dig in. Good news, everything is back up and running. I just did another ride on Time Traveler, 2nd ride ever. I was in the very front row. I just have a huge appreciation for that ride now. I know it's not the most forceful thing, but it's smooth. You take inversions facing sideways and backwards, and you just don't get that on any other coasters. So it's up there as one of my favorites. And then I got 2 rides in on Thunderation. And after my first ride, I thought it was maybe the best mine train coaster I've been on. But there is one insanely rough section on the double helix. Towards the end of that helix, the whole train just kind of buckles really quick, no matter what row you're sitting in. So I got a 2nd row ride on it. And then I followed that up with a 2nd to last row ride on it. And on both times, it's just insanely rough. So I can't say it's like my all-time favorite mine train. Just gotta knock it a point or 2 for that. There's no reason for it. The rest of the ride is pretty smooth and it's fast, unlike most of the mine trains I've been on. Now I'm gonna go over to Powder Keg, try to get a back row ride on it. First time I got on it was a front row, and we'll see. The park closes in about 25 minutes, so I'm pretty sure I can make it and then get a last ride of the night in maybe on Fire in the Hole. We got some visitors. Look at those goats. Well, that's going to do it from Silver Dollar City here in Branson, Missouri. I'm so glad that I used all of today to be here. About 7 hours in the park today. And I got a t-shirt. At the very end of the day, I'll show it off at my next park, whatever that is, but it's going to be pretty soon actually. I mean, from the very first hour I was in the park, I loved it. And I can still say that now after experiencing everything, not the water rides, but walking around the entire park multiple times. The coasters were all as good as I thought they were, with Powder Keg, Wildfire, Time Traveler, and Outlaw Run. All of those are super decent.
Yeah.
Like, they're all better than good. Those are close to A tier coasters, all of them. And it's one of those awesome feelings you get when you're at a theme park and you can just keep bouncing around to like 2 or 3 different rides and just re-riding all of them just nonstop. No breaks, no eating, no nothing. You can just do them back to back to back to back. That's how it was here. It just doesn't get boring. Those rides don't get boring. You just want to keep riding them again and again and again. I loved it here. I'm going to come back whenever they get something new. I feel like I did enough today. And is it my favorite park ever? Not quite, but it is certainly a top 5 park I have ever been to, and that's including Disney and Universal Studios. What I did at the end of the day was get another ride on Powder Keg in the back, and that was awesome. So I'll say that Powder Keg was my favorite ride here. Then I got a 3rd ride on Fire in the Hole, and I was about to get a Zen ride on it. I was the only person there, and as they were about to dispatch, the other train hadn't come back yet. So they waited a 2 seconds, and then another family showed up, so there was only 4 of us on it. But I love that ride so much, and it occurred to me the second time I was riding it that you're constantly going up. You're not on that ride. You're not just going around different walls and seeing different scenes. You're actually going up and up and up and up, and then you go down the drops, and then you keep going up again. And there's a little kid next to me who he couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 years old, and he was telling me that he designed the coaster in Minecraft. I thought that was pretty awesome, because I used to design coasters in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 when I was young. He said he's been on that ride like thousands of times. He even knew when it was built in the 70s. He knew it was the oldest ride in the park, and he loves it. It's awesome to see young kids really into roller coasters and theme parks, and they know their statistics. They know the details of the parks, and the next generation is just gonna be crazy. They're watching this video right now and following people like Taylor Bybee and Coaster Studios, or Theme Park Obsession, or Coaster Bot, Ohio Valley Coasters, Theme Park Review, Coaster Force, all of those people, Midway Mayhem. They're helping everyone stay educated on all these coasters and all these theme parks. And it's just building a bigger following over time. Tried to get a 3rd ride in on Time Traveler. Didn't happen. I was about 3 minutes late. They closed the line. I love this park. It's my favorite park out of this trip. I have to say I need to go back to Six Flags St. Louis to get some more credits there and ride some of their rides before definitively saying that I can judge that park. I can judge this park today. I rode all the major things. That's gonna do it for day 2 of this Missouri vacation. It was an awesome day. The Coaster Watch was here. Enjoyed it. It survived. Everything in my pockets survived. Nothing fell out. Nixon, if you're watching, definitely sponsor me, or Ray-Bans. That was another day in the Hennisphere.